Everybody come in, please. You can bring your food inside.
With it. Yeah, there are so many vocabularies that it has to be clarified.
صلوا على محمد وعلى محمد.
Listen to something besides that TV.
If you allow me permission from Dr. Shakib, I'm going to summarize what he said
This is right what he
in
said.
simple, the way I understood it, so hopefully you will correct me. The focus of the talk was the body, the four element, force process that cause the destruction of the body, the aging, and Allah's design that the body eventually will die. These four processes that you mentioned, 3 of them are related to food. Please correct me if I make mistake. That if I remember correctly, all are linked to food. It was methylation, oxidation, inflammation, and glycation. Correct? And all of them related to food. And another thing that he mentioned was beside the food was the stress. Now, I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather was a clergy, and one time told me, Babaji, the way you eat is this: divide your stomach into 3 parts. 1 part for food, 1 part for water, and 1 part for air. And surely he would stick to it, and he was very thin. And mashallah, the day he died, 86 years old, he was going around, he was healthy, and he was helping people. And he was sticking to his prescription. So I tried to, but I'm not like him. And I was telling my kids, said you have to do this, and I found out this is the narration from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam down to Al Muhammad, that divide your stomach into 3 parts. And Reza, my son, came up with a good question. Said, so how much is the 1/3? Alhamdulillah, he explained it to us. So he put your 2 feet, two arms together. That's it.
One is 1 here and 1 here. So this is your serving for 1 time. Now how much you can put into it?
1/3 of it.
Yeah. Now we have to divide that into 1/3. Now next time you ask me, I said, okay, put your hands together, divide this into half, and look at your plate. You have 1/3 of it. That's all you can eat. You should eat. Alhamdulillah.
So just a question here. Do we measure our hands for ourselves and the child's hand for their body?
Exactly. The God has this is the size. Mostly this is the size of our heart, and this is very true. Your heart resembles your body organs. It's the God who has created it. He has given us the science that nobody can go inside and see the heart sizes. Like that's what happened. Cardiomegaly is a word we use in medical, and that is called enlarged heart. And I have seen people heart this big, while their fist is like this, but heart is this big. So what it does, it would not pump enough blood, so it function less. It function on like 20%, 30% instead of having efficiency of 90%, 80%. So God has a wonderful mechanism. There are signs of God every day. Even in a human body, He has friends inside of us. He has also put the enemies inside of us. It's up to us. What we feeding them? Are we feeding the monster and devil? Are we feeding the good guys? It's all up to us.
Or the way he puts it, eat the food, that the food carries you rather than you carry the food.
That is very true.
We had a good discussion over here, and I would like you please to summarize or say again what you were telling us while we were eating. That was regarding the food, the eating habits, which comes first, food. And
before we start eating habits, you can eat as healthy as you want, but if you are emotionally not healthy and spiritually not healthy, you're gonna still feel empty. There is something missing. So brain is a big, big organ here. It does wonders. It does miracles. With your thoughts, you can change a lot of stuff. Right? So first of all, you have to have whatever belief system you have to follow it and be content about it. Then emotional health comes how we deal with family, friends, workplace, school, homework, fellow students, right? Our co-workers or whoever is around you. So that brings emotional, how happy you are, in other words. If you're not happy and stressed, the food you will be eating will be turning into poison. The reason it will be turning into poison, I mentioned when you are in stress, what happens? Body makes cytokines. Cytokines are like a messenger which goes to every cell and tells, hey, I'm not happy, something is wrong. So what body does? Body make more acid. Body become acidic. Normally healthy body is alkaline. So like acid, everybody get the concept of acidity. I'll explain it.
Acid and bases, pH. Yeah.
So body is happy when it is alkaline, but when you're stressed, cytokines would not let body be an alkaline state, not in a happy state, being in stress situation, right? So food you're gonna eat while you're stressed, it's gonna turn into poison, period. You cannot change it, even no matter how good food it is, unless until those cytokines or unless until the stress will move, because stress is causing cytokines to activate, and cytokines are making your body acidic. Your body should be all the time alkaline. We have different level of pH. Our saliva has a pH which should be within certain range. Our blood have a pH. If it goes up and down, we become sick. It is very important to make our stress level down so we would not be acidic. Any questions?
That's what the ayat that he read. وَفِي رِزْقَكُمْ وَمَا تُوعِدُونَ. Our plate of food that we just ate, it's a part of heaven above. Because it's needed, all of the particle of that food needs the air that was developed by them, the sun, the light, all of these things that it is from heaven above. And it says, so if you want to eat some food, again, it's a hadith that it says, do not talk to become too much stress when you're eating your food. What should you say? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Just Allah, this is the food that you sent. Be calm, let the food digest beautifully. These are the words that you have heard.
Actually, it was yesterday or just today, I was talking to my wife. Recently, there's the changes in my workplace, I'm a little bit stressed, and so I told my wife, I said, I should think about more, and sometimes when you say La ilaha illallah, the actual meaning is there's no God but Allah. But it really is stress remover if you think about it deeply, because what happens is, say, basically bottom line is that only Allah is important. That's what bottom line is. When you say La ilaha illallah, we say Allah is the boss. Nothing else is the boss. No children, work, car, house, nothing else matters. If you think about it in these terms, which is the true Tawheed, and I'm working for Him and that's it, I'm not working for anybody else. If you think about it that way, it's not going to be a stress. Nothing will come bother you. And so this is a part that this coupled with what Dr. Shakir said about the food. No wonder you see some scholars live so long, their age is so high and they live for a long time because they have both sides of it.
I just want to add something. I was reading some articles which goes back 300, 400 years ago, and recently, in my real life also, and by learning, I have learned there was a Ayurveda Chalinos, he was a specialist of abdominal diseases. You know how he died? Excellent. So you are expert of one thing, but you die with the same thing. You cannot cure yourself even. Certain doctors, friend of mine, he's an oncologist. He is one of the best oncologists in St. Louis, Missouri, some small town over there we live. His own mother dies of lung cancer. And he was crying. He said, knowing all the knowledge, knowing everything, I cannot cure my own mother. Very healthy lady, stage 4 lung cancer. He said he cannot save her own mother. And there is a doctor I know, he ended up having a very rare kind of cancer. He was my co-worker. He used to be the director of emergency services. So phone is ringing all night long. This problem with this patient, this problem with this patient. Within 5 years, this 35 years old young doctor ended up having a cancer which only happened to people with high stress. So he has to retrograde himself from his present position to a very low level general physician, where he goes to work 9 a.m., come back home 3 p.m. So what is important in life is a balance. I think there is a ayah in Surah Rahman, if somebody can help me here, where Allah says, I raise the heavens and maintain the balance.
Yeah, وزن میزان لا تطرف الميزان وقيم الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسر الميزان.
Such a beautiful thing to hear, even that when I look in the nature and universe, everything is helping each other. We have the Western society has waged a war against bacteria, right? Kill them, kill them, kill them. That was so wrong thing to do. What it has done, it has bring us the, like some control over certain diseases, but at the same time, we are living with 3 guys inside of us. So the balance is messed up. They're killing everything. So we have superbugs. We have KPC bacterium, we have MRSA, we have C. difficile, and they cannot be treated with antibiotics. You have to be on 6 months to 3 months. You have to be in quarantine in order to get healed.
Would you please elaborate on this? This is very important what Dr. Shekar is saying. Basically, we are becoming a community because so much we are cleaning everything, we're not touching everything. Our body does not have the 10. When he says we only have 3, what he means that we have to have 10 enemies inside. So our body makes antibodies for them, so it is ready. When there's 10 bacteria reduced to 3, our body becomes lazy. It does not have antibiotics for it. So. This triggered a hadith from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I like the kids for 3 things. 1 is they play with dirt. 2, whatever happens, they run into their mothers. And 3, whenever they fight somebody, they forget and go back and have a peace. And playing with the dirt, see, very important. I was thinking, what does playing dirt have to do? And correct me if I'm wrong. But if to a certain degree, if the kids are exposed to some degrees of bacteria, different bacteria in the dirt or whatever, their immune system will build up, right? And that's what makes us ready for when the new bacteria come in. Unfortunately, I've even seen nowadays you go to grocery stores, it's probably for a long time, but I never paid attention to them. Most of them have dispensers that you can get what's called a
Hand sanitizer.
hand sanitizer. Even if touching the hand cord, clean your hands. In a way, it's good, but help me out. I mean, what do you think about this?
What I'm thinking is, I'm going to share 2 important factors. One, in England, kids have a lot of allergies. You know what they do? They have to go to the store, buy the dirt pill, prescribed by a doctor, and they have to give them dirt pills so they can build immunity by eating that dirt. Instead of playing outside, they have to go to a store and buy the dirt pill. That's the cure. England is very peculiar about antibiotics. They say, no, this is wrong. Over here, you go there and doctor have antibiotic. Even for pediatrics, we have antibiotics. So you kill the gut bacteria, so the kid is more weak than ever before. And to reproduce those bacteria inside, it takes a number of years. Second, when we shake hand with each other, I think in Islam we shake hand, and I think in Judaism also, by shaking hands, we transmit immunity through those bacteria. So some people don't shake hand, you shake them hand, you go like, dirty. Right? People don't like shaking hand, right? It's cool.
I shake everyone's hand.
You do, but like general, but you notice,
Yes.
they don't like it.
Yeah.
You could have cold man, right? So So this is the concept. I mean, the people who carries lot of immunity are the hospital staff. Their immune system is very strong because they are exposed to those germs and bacteria. I don't take flu shots. I don't take other shots. My immunity is good enough. So they are technically making us to live in a bubble and killing our immunity. The God has made the body as a walking hospital. When we go to a doctor, what doctor does to us is giving just a time to heal. But who heals us? The guys inside of us. Without those guys, we are dead. Because if those 10 guys gonna die, we're gonna die. Or we're gonna be sick. If they are sick, we are sick. So in nature and universe, everything is helping. Stars, sun, water, mountains, even those ants and tiny, even just look at the bacteria, they're so tiny, they're helping us all the time, every single minute.
I want to ask you a question. While you were talking about when you go to sleep, the metabolism goes down, everything, and the body goes to the healing mode, that made me think about when we fast. I noticed, I could feel that my body goes down, and my blood pressure, I feel like I'm more relaxed. Have you done any research or have the ability about fasting? Or
Absolutely. I think I'm very glad brother has mentioned it because I was forgot about it. I fast almost twice a week. And those 2 days are Saturday and Sunday. But I should be doing it religiously. I have learned it from a scientist at NIH, and she have done this study on 500 females in Europe. And the study was, those girls were obese. So what she told them that, okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna feed you for 5 days. How much? This much. One given time. And we're gonna give you more proteins and fresh vegetables and salad, not the junk food. So, okay, 5 days. And then they said, Friday night, you're gonna have your dinner, 6 p.m. and after that you're gonna eat nothing, but you're gonna only drink water, like 0 calorie. Water is a 0 calorie, we all know that. And you're gonna eat Saturday 6 p.m. Again, how much? Not this much that, okay, I was fasting, I'm gonna eat this much. No, only this much. Same thing we're gonna do Saturday. Within 6 months, they were not obese anymore. It is a very, because if somebody tells you, come to my clinic, I'm going to do a gastric bypass and you will be very healthy, you're going to lose the weight. Yes, you will be very healthy for a short period of time. And again, you will be back to normal. Normal means back to what you were before. There are a lot of treatments. Okay, take this medication. There's no magic pill. It is a lifestyle. You have to choose. And once you choose it, stick with it. I'm not saying just make a 180-degree turn tomorrow and quit. No. It is a transition. So you're going to start eating healthy, cutting down on the junk food, starting it healthy. And you have to remember this. Timing and the quantity is very vital for your health. What time of the day and the night you're eating. If you have your lunch every day, noon time, please do so. If you have your dinner every time, like between 6 and 8, please do so. But don't do it like 10 p.m. and say, I'm going to sleep. Because remember that, we talked, when you go to sleep, body has 100 different jobs to do. It's going to start cleaning the mess you have all day long. So eat it so you have enough time for the digestion, which is 3 hours before you go to bed. So body can do it work on 100%. Body is designed in a very unique way. It can take a lot of abuse till the age of 40. It takes 40 years to damage yourself to a point where you say, okay, damage is irreversible. Like my own kids sometimes say, oh, we don't mind, we are fine. But you're not fine till the age of 40. And once you go to 40, doctor's gonna play football with you. They're gonna give you medication for each and every symptom, but they're not gonna tell you what to do. Because if you end up having osteoporosis or osteopenia or arthritis, there is no cure so far for those things. People are on medications all the time. Why not prevent it now?
Just remind me when he was talking about fasting. Fasting, for some of you who don't know, I think most of you probably know, rather than I can say, that has been prescribed. First of all, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said most of the days he was fasting. And the reason why he was not fasting every day, because he said, I don't want people to think that this is obligatory. But he was saying it's so good for you. Late Imam Khomeini, rahmatullah alayhi, used to fast Mondays and Thursdays of every week. Mondays and Thursdays. So I have seen among scholars, as the brother said, 2 days a week, but usually you do it Mondays and Thursdays. And we also have, they say, besides those, you do beginning of the month, lunar month, Thursday, if I correctly, and last Thursday, and the middle of Wednesday, something like that. And then we have the nights that are white, like 13, 14, and 15 of the lunar calendar, or the moon's full. Also, they say it's very, could come in and do fasting. So all these prescription recommendations are just for us. One of the good benefits of fasting is health. The other thing, I tell everybody, I said, if I fast, believe it or not, sometimes my productivity goes up. My mind starts working, because what I do is more has to do with my brain. And my mind starts working, provided I do eat right at a certain time. Some of us that have physical, work is physical, obviously it's harder for them fasting, but so it has a lot of benefits. And the other thing I was going to ask you about...
regarding the fasting with me, I had this one. No, please. There is a brother that you probably know, Dr. Abdul Halim Ashkar.
Yes.
Was from he's still in jail. So he went to prison, actually, for, some of the reasons that it is known. So he decided he's going to go to hunger strike. And he had high blood sugar, pressure, sugar diabetic, and all of this. And he was a little bit at this. After he went to hunger strike, and then, of course, they let him go out of the jail. And surprisingly, after about 6 months that he came out, his blood sugar and everything became normal. So because of that hunger strike that he went. So that is how it started.
Exercise.
I don't know if you're familiar with this. Years ago, I read about a Russian guy, I don't know if he was a physician or not. He did 40 days of fasting, but only water. In his lifetime, he only managed to do it one time to the end. And he had a book on it. And toward it, I don't know, 37, 38, so they hospitalized him. But he refused to eat. Around the day 40, around the day 40. So all this, he was describing the signs. Oh, I was pale, this, and he was emphasizing on the tongue. He says, around 30 days, my tongue became so stinky, stuff coming out of it. It was dark, brown, this. And all of a sudden, on the day 39, 38, 39, it started pink. He said, I knew when it turned pink that the time has passed, the detoxification has gone. And amazingly, the guy even started, he was bald, and the hair started growing after 40 days. But I'm not going to do that.
This is very true for human beings. What happened when we fast? What happened? Body goes into from when we go into starvation mode, right? So the first thing body thinks, okay, let's get the extra sugar, which is glucagon we were talking about earlier, right? So body start burning it. So okay, before I say that, I want to say this: God has given us 4 hormones to make glucose. Glucose is key element for cell. Every single cell need energy, and that energy comes from where? Only one molecule, glucose. Rest of the proteins we need to build blood. But the God has given us 4 hormones to make glucose out of everything else. Either we eat starches, we eat protein, we can eat anything we want. But the God has given us 4 hormones to make sugar. So when you go in a starvation mode, body takes the glucagon, which is stored in the form of glucagon, which is type of sugar, and liver breaks it down and give you the energy to move around. Okay, now after that leptin kicks in. Leptin is a hormone, and it said, okay, now we're going to burn the fat. So we have fat around our GI tract, fat around kidneys, fat around liver and heart, right? So that fat start burning. Now that fat burns for how many days? Maybe 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. So, but Body is smart. Body knows how to make sugar for those cells. Okay, we have 10 trillion cells. They need to survive, right? Plus those 10 guys also. So, body start eating muscles. So body start making sugar from protein. That's called ketone body. That's a very classical mechanism. I don't want to go into detail. It will be a
Acetone, breath, and
yeah. So body start eating your own body to survive. So if you keep drinking water and lubricate yourself enough, so actually what you're doing is you're detoxifying yourself, and you can live up to, some people can maybe 30, if they are healthy people, start with a healthy person, 30 days, 35, 40, yeah, 45 could be dangerous, or 50 will be dangerous, so you're pushing limits. But body is, the God has made the body in a way where God said, okay, by starvation you're not going to die, but eat less and you'll be more healthy. So when we eat less, so what happened? Everything which is body is storing is start burning. So we don't have any extra trash and garbage. Like it's this room. If I start putting stuff here, there, here food, there food, there food, this is going to look a mess. Nobody going to like it. Even myself, I'm not going to like it. My food is everywhere here. But if I manage it, maintain it, or have less, what it looks. It is simple, but it's elegant, right? That's the same thing happen with the body when we eat less. We are in good shape, we're strong. And please exercise at least 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day. Whatever you can. Exercise best. Even in Islam it is do swimming, riding, and what else?
yeah, riding. So actually, even wrestling. I heard that.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
All those prophets used to wrestle.
Wrestle.
What we do? Do we wrestle ever?
Yeah.
Could you please give us some tips on healthy dietary sort of practices?
Okay.
What should we eat?
Everybody is different. I cannot recommend you what I eat,
Mm-hmm.
and what you eat could be poison for me.
Okay.
First of all, we are not same. There's a lot of details, but I'm going to try to summarize it. Food goes with three things. Number one, what is your blood type and ancestry? That 10,000 years ago, what your ancestors were eating. They may be hunter. My 10,000 years, if I go back like 1,000 years, so I came to know that my ancestors were farmers. So I'm happy with the vegetables and starches. My body is okay with that. But your ancestors may be hunters. They may be hunting and eating meat all the time, not the grains. So what could be, like a lot of people eat grains and nothing happened to them. So everybody is different, so you have to find out. So I'm going to give just guidelines. Start eating the right stuff, mostly proteins, good protein, grass-fed animals, not the beef or from their grass-fed animals, organic chicken, and hormone-free, herbicide, pesticide-free milk, which is only raw milk you can get from certain places, and vegetables organic. Cut down on the fruits. Fruits looks fancy. It is just a symbol of status. Oh, we eat fruit. Fruits are good. No, it is a commodity. Somebody is getting rich from that money. You buy a little bit fruits and so expensive. I rather buy vegetables. Like kale is very good for both male and female because what it has? Calcium, better than milk. Because people think, oh, get milk, drink milk. So why everybody have osteoporosis? If calcium is good for you, why drinking milk and you have osteoporosis? Because milk, what is available in the market, gives you 28% milk, 28% calcium, which is really a very high number. Okay, so you get 28%, but nobody tells you the phosphorus in it leaches out 30% calcium from your blood flow. Our blood has calcium also, right? So I'm giving you $28 and I'm stealing $30 from you. So you're losing calcium at the rate of 2% over the number of years, and the next thing you see that when you are 50, 55 or 60, you are osteopenia or osteopenic or osteoporotic. And why? Because the milk was stealing all this. That's why they said quit dairy. If you have asthma, quit dairy. Dairy is not important. The only reason we used to use dairy because when we are babies, our stomach and GI tract is not developed. And reason why it is not developed, we do not have the proper flora. Those 10 guys are not there yet completely.
Is that the same with raw milk or not?
Raw milk depends from where you're getting it. I get the raw milk from Amish community, which come from Pennsylvania, and I use very little, like half cup to 1 cup. You don't have to drink, but raw milk is good for you, no doubt about it. Raw milk. But again, my point is, when we see a cow or ox or bull, they are very muscular and big and strong bones, right? What they eat, what all those animals eat?
Yeah.
They eat
Alfalfa.
greens. They eat greens, in other words, right? They don't eat meat, they don't eat grains. The God has made the stomach of a cow 4 sections. So the cows in these countries are fed grain, that's why it is bad for us, it is causing obesity. But if you give cow grass, what God has designed her for, she will be very healthy. I'm going to give a healthy milk. And again, back to your question, raw milk is healthy if it is grass fed, not the grain fed. Again, grain, what grain does? They make us big, right?
Let me add to this if you allow me, please. I just let you for your information. 30, 40 years ago, in this country, the cows, beef would come from at least about 30 to 50 feedlots, what they call a feedlot, places where they have thousands of cows, they feed them, and that's for commercialization, right? Now, this whole 50, 100 feedlots, different parts of the country, is now boiled down to only maybe not even a handful now, right now. And we're talking about places in Texas that probably are 100,000 cows, million cows, and what are they feeding them? Now, I tell you, it's scary if I tell you what they feed them. Sometimes people have gone, and some of my colleagues visit them and said, up to the knee of the cow was in the manure. They feed them remnants, waste of chicken and fish. Between chicken, fish, and cow, they rotate the waste between them. I had one colleague was saying, because of mad cow disease, because they were feeding cows remnant to cow itself. Now they're not doing this, but they're feeding the remnants of chicken or fish to cow. One of my colleagues was expert in this, said, now we have to worry about cows sound like chicken. But this is true. And then, meanwhile, I remember Rawaya from Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was saying, drink the milk from cow because I suspect there's a shafa, cure in it, because cow eats from a lot of grasses, right? Now, Dr. Shakir is telling us this Rawaya is only true when the cow does what Allah designed for it to do, eats from whatever. They don't anymore. We have a list, when this is what I do for a living, we have a list of things that really assess the risk. But let's stick to this. I don't want to go deviate quite a bit, but drink milk cow is good only if they are organic, if the cow drinks from different things. But I tell you, the milk that you get on the grocery stores, and that's like a conveyor belt, how the production thing. The cows, the milking industry is like this. They feed them thing and feed the mouth and get the milk. Everything is set, what the cow has to eat. Certain percentage of this protein, this remnants of other animal. So it's not quite healthy. The other thing is the meat. I was going to ask you. I don't usually eat that much of meat, but for the kids, I see it's imperative that they get some protein because they are in age that their body needs to build up. What would you think about this?
For the meat, what my belief system is, you never ever eat the meat of an animal which is bigger than you in size.
Never eat the bigger
Meat which is bigger than in size.
But that's everyone for cows.
Yeah.
We have goat, we have lamb, we have sheep, right? We have turkeys. So their meat is the best meat because beef is good. I'm not saying against beef. There's nothing against beef to me. But when you think this way, if we start eating the meat of elephant, what's going to happen to our body? Are we going to turn into an elephant? We're going to get some qualities everything. Okay, now this is a very classical thing and very advanced thing, but I'm going to break it down. Whatever company you accompany, you inherit that trait. Whatever our parents do, we do the same thing in our life, right? Because that's called genetic memory. Every organ in the body have a genetic memory, right? So when we eat that animal, so we may get some kind of aggressiveness or qualities or hormones transferred in our own system which pollute our system. So look at the cows and bulls. Have you ever seen the bull fighting? How aggressive they are? When you're gonna eat a lot of meat, you will be very aggressive and fighting. But look at the goat and lamb and sheep. They say, he's goat, he's lamb, he's chicken. So you become humble. That is a very classical mechanism, and I have learned. One of our friends, she got transplant kidney. The person who donated his kidney, he has suicide. So, but the reason he suicide, he was in lot of excruciating pain every single minute due to some kind of back injury. So he gave up and he said, I'm going to suicide. So when the kidney been transplanted, so this lady ended up having severe pain somewhere in the body, and the only thing I can think of and other doctors can think of is genetic memory. That the memory being transferred to that particular organ, when that organ been placed at somebody else's body, so what happened? It has triggered the same mechanism. Because those organs are cells. Cells communicate with each other. They talk to each other. The way we say to each other, hello, they say, hello, how are you? So it is very complex concept. I try to break it down that this happens.
I know, in fact, what they say, if somebody is a little bit upset, mad, this and that, they say, why don't you give him some camel meat? Especially in the part of Masjid of Iran, they usually sell camel meat, which is much redder than the regular meat.
Because camels are very humble.
That's what they say, yeah. Go ahead and give him some camel.
Camel is serving mankind. It is very humble compared to those. If you ever see those bulls and those buffaloes in the wild, when they fight, they're very aggressive. Their hormones are messed up.
Some goats are also.
That's your goat.
They are eating bull, man.
We're talking about, that's the way God has made those animals. So go for humble things.
By the way, I said there is hadith that Rasul said, drink the milk from the cow. The rest of the hadith said, but eat the meat from the lamb. That's very interesting you said that.
I'm very glad that I'm here and he's relating everything with hadith, because I didn't know that. But this is what I have learned over a number of years. It took me 15 years to learn all those things. I was simply like you. I was so ignorant that once a doctor is a double PhD and he's people think he's a god. I was sitting in a seminar with him and he said, sugar hurts. And I said, well, in my family we eat big bag of sugar in 3 months and nothing happened to us. But I know what happened to my family. Cardiomegaly, hepatomegaly, gout, and cirrhosis, kidney disease, high blood pressure, strokes, heart attacks. That happened to my family, and they're dying one by one. But now I think I was so ignorant that I was stubborn at that time, and I claimed in front of everybody that we eat a full bag of sugar in 3 months, and that result I'm seeing now. So just be careful with the sugar.
What about
What
deer?
about the soy milk and the almond milk? Because I've heard these. are
Very bad, very
Very
bad.
bad?
Yeah. I can give you a recipe how to make almond milk at home, but stay away from soya. Soya is a genetically modified crop. Genetically modified crops are not they are man-made. They are not created by God. So I would say stay away. No matter whoever is saying it to you, stay away from soya.
Kiwi is the same thing?
Kiwi.
Kiwi, ask about kiwi.
Again with the fruits, I would stay away from. The problem in this country, not only this country, in the world is The God has made 4 seasons, right? Everybody knows that. But we don't know there are 4 seasons inside of us. There are 4 seasons inside of us, right? So according to the seasons, God has created fruits and vegetables. But here, sadly, everything is in abundance. Abundance is not good for the human body. Pomegranate comes in the month of October, November and December. Why you need it? Because your blood makes more clots in that time of the year. So when you use pomegranate, what happens? Naturally, it opens up your arteries, blood is flowing good. 3 months gone, you are out of the risk also. So the nature has made 4 seasons inside of you. Sometimes you make more mucus. So bananas is a certain crop, certain number of years, so you certain number of the months. So you don't eat bananas all year round. Here we eat each and everything year round. Watermelons are good for to quench your thirst and give you instant energy. But what watermelons are doing in winter time does not make any sense. Do you work very hard? Do you work outside in the sun and run and sweat like a crazy? That you get dehydrated and you give watermelon? No. So the problem in this country is that in order to sell anything, they will do everything. I don't do this part. I see what is the season, what is the time of the year, what vegetables should be coming up. I mean, I know this is very new, this information is very new and unique to you, and a lot of you may not say why we have to eat with the season, because God has created according to the season. What we do, we get it from the South America. In Australia right now, it's extremely hot. We got stuff from Australia. So the fruit we will be eating in the summertime, we're eating now. So it is not benefiting you. It is simply hard. And stay away from, with all respect, stay away. The fruits I eat, sometimes bananas is okay. Tomatoes are okay if it's not GMO, organic, heirloom. And prickly pear. Prickly pear is best for arthritis, best for the joint pains, and best for your blood sugar also. And I don't know how many knows here what prickly pear is. Who knows prickly pear? Okay, so it's a fruit. It's a miracle fruit. Have anybody seen those cactus in the desert which has elliptical leaves? It comes on the top of this thing like a flower, and it is so amazing. Such a heavy fruit sticks on this thin platform. And it comes in the desert, but it's so juicy and so nice. It has maximum betalains. Other than any betalains are some of those chemical compounds which helps you with arthritis, with pain, with chronic pain. So eat every day 2 to 3 prickly pears, but again in the season, not out of the season. So I eat very few fruits. You don't need fruits, you don't need nuts. They say healthy almond, healthy pistachio. No, you really don't need it.
There is a black seed actually, cube, black seed. Have you heard about it?
What is black seed? Is it like caraway seeds?
No, black seed.
Caraway.
Caraway, yes. They are doing a lot of research upon it. It is very beneficial. And I heard about a hadith also that it is a cure for every disease except death.
That's right.
But what I believe is, can we do the right thing, and can any right thing happen to us unless until we stop doing the wrong things? Yes, that seed could be cured to death. I agree. But if we are keep doing whatever we're doing in our life, can that seed help us? So the whole point is, it is a lifestyle. There is no magic pill. There is no magic. This seed could be magic seed because hadith is involved. I'm not gonna go against it. But what I feel is, we have to stop doing the wrong things which are harming us continuously every day. How we sit, how we lay down, how we sleep, how we drink water, how we eat, how much we eat. We're gonna keep eating, we're gonna keep doing whatever we're doing, and we're thinking, okay, those black seeds are cure for everything, let me have it. No, that's not gonna help, sorry.
What other questions?
Any questions?
What about the old saying about the water, that you should drink 8 glasses of water a day?
Everybody again,
Or not necessarily water, but fluids, I guess.
water is good, but again, what water are you drinking? The water over here actually killing us with the fluoride and chlorine in it. Chlorine is not good for you, fluoride is not either. So get a good water filter, any filter, which removes chlorine and fluoride. Fluoride is banned almost, fluoride going to be banned almost in every country in Europe. They said it is harming, because what fluoride they're putting us over there is what? Coming from aluminum plants, right?
I haven't done research.
Yeah, so fluoride is totally bad. What it does, it kills some bacteria, but it also killing your damn good guys inside. Why give it? And it causing some kind of cancer and tumors in the body. Fluoride is not good for you. So we have to remove it from the system. Then you drink 8-10 cups, that's always good. So fluoride is not a good concept in the water. We have to stay.
And also mixing the food, like I think Islamically you should eat your fruit like 2 hours before you eat.
That is very true. I always say that eat your fruits first, then after 1 hour or 30 minutes, 40, 50 minutes, then start eating your regular meal and eat one meal. I mean, having like 3-4 different dishes and then at the end dessert and soda is not helping anybody. Lot of young females I came across, and they have one major problem, and that problem is gallbladder issues. Gallbladder stone. You know how it comes? You go to the doctor, they're going to say, oh, it is your genes. Okay, when I born, I was 30 years old, I was 20 years old, my genes were fine, my gallbladder was functioning okay, now suddenly something happened to genes. So I always say that genes are like a bullet in a gun. Who pressed the trigger? And how? You drink cold water or soda along with fish fry or French fries or any fried vegetable or food or any Chinese food which is highly fried. So guess what's going to happen? That fat globules going to go in your system. It's going to turn into low density lipoprotein, bad cholesterol, and then from there it's going to come to liver. Liver going to say, oh, what is problem? What is this wrong? So liver cannot understand what's going on. One side you have again sugar, other side you have some protein mixed with some triglyceride, means some kind of bad fat which is fried stuff. And so body start making some kind of molecules which are unknown to mankind and start dumping where? Because the cholesterol goes where? They make bile out of it, which is an emulsifier, which emulsify the fat so we can digest fat. So those things goes in your gallbladder. So gallbladder says, okay, I cannot do anything to it. So gallbladder start making it some kind of stones. So here you go, perfect recipe to damage your gallbladder, and scientists and doctors gonna blame, oh, it is genetic. It is not genetic because my genes are fine. Yes, sir.
So are you suggesting that you shouldn't, with your meal, you should not take cold water or like ice in your
Never. Never. Imagine
for that specific
how you wash your fat dishes which have lot of fat upon it. How you wash those dishes?
hot water.
Why?
Because it melts it.
It's melted. What?
Clean.
It melts it.
Okay. So you're eating lot of fried food.
Well, I mean, if you don't eat fried, I don't eat a lot of, I eat almost no fried food. So does it still matter, cold, staying away from cold drinks?
Okay. I cannot say anything about what I know about myself is
Right.
I drink water before my meal or I drink after half an hour of my meal. I try not to drink in between also. So that is the best way. Yeah, I think there is a hadith also about it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. One, actually, you mentioned about cold water. We have in hadith that I think from Imam Jafar Sallallahu said there are 3 things that are never bad for you and they're always good. One is warm water. And the other 2, I think one of them is hijama, when you draw blood from your back. I don't know, the old days they used to pull blood and dirty blood around this area. I don't know, these are the veins or something.
Spinal area.
I forgot the third part. And that's one thing. The other thing is about drinking water. Exactly, like Shakir said. We have recipe from Jafar Sadiq how to drink the water and when to drink it, and they also even have to say drink it in 3 sips. Don't drink the water in one breath. 3 sips slowly, your food slowly, and how to chew it. Exactly.
Through your teeth rather than juggling.
Yeah.
You should chew it so much that you said, oh, my jaws are tired. But we don't do it. We do 3 things bad here. I'm saying myself, I'm not saying to anybody. Number 1, I don't know how to breathe. If you want to see how to breathe, it's called belly breathing. Have you seen ever a newly born baby? Have you seen any newly born baby? when he laying flat on his back, when he's breathing, what is happening?
Stomach.
His belly. So he's doing belly breathing. That is a perfect and right way to breathe because you take the maximum amount of air in your lungs, so they are working on the full capacity. We hardly take a deep breath. If we every day take 20 deep breaths, we'll be fine. So that's number one we're doing wrong. Then what else we're doing wrong is we are not drinking right. What time and how we drink? We don't know. What to drink first of all. There is a hadith also, vinegar.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Instead of using sugar after the meal, we should take 1 teaspoon of vinegar, organic cider vinegar of course, and drink it with the water. That's the best for you. It helps with the digestion.
Exactly what I do.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, these groups here, there are a lot of, you find a lot of information on apple cider vinegar that made me think. They're all doctors, and I found it in hadith, by the way, about vinegar, correct? What do you think about red wine vinegar versus apple cider vinegar? I don't know if you
Anything which has alcohol promotes cancer.
It's not alcohol.
Wine big is another.
No, it's red wine vinegar. Actually, so it's one stage after it comes alcohol, you boil it again or oxidize
That's
more.
best. That is best. Because anything which does not having any amount of alcohol in it is best for you. Alcohol triggers cancer. I have a question from you.
I'm sorry. Should I ask you?
Yeah. No, she was want to ask a question.
You were also raising hands.
Do you have any questions? You want to say it?
I know the question was about olive oil. That you cook your food in olive oil.
Never.
So that's
What happens when you cook? It oxidizes right away with the heat, so all the good benefits are gone forever. So you use it as a, even buying olive oil is a fraud nowadays because you don't know how they're expelling it. There are two kinds of expelling system, cold press and just simply from the expeller. Expeller generates so much heat that all those good benefits that they're talking about are gone.
even they have chemical extraction.
Yeah, they have chemical extraction also.
There are
So-
only 4 oils that you can heat: mustard oil, coconut oil, ghee,
And butter.
and butter. I think dry you can heat it, but then becomes ghee. But
I think it's safflower oil.
I think there are only
It's a-
4 oils that you can heat.
So oils plays a very vital. First of all, you don't need to cook in oil, and we are doing it wrong. If go back in the history, how people were cooking, even at the time of Sahaba Islam and Prophet Muhammad, how they were cooking,
Just boiling before the draw.
right? So where this concept came from that we're gonna use oils, especially cooking oil. What it does, what oil does to us, it just creates some kind of, it takes the dryness away from the food, right? And it becomes more lubricated, right? So that's the only reason we have. But when you go back to the history, our genetic predisposition, when we look upon it, nobody has used ever such kind of stuff that we're using now. So the oil I use it, olive oil, cold press, just on the top of my whatever I cook, on the top, put it cold, so you get the maximum benefit. But with all honesty, other than human beings, even you throw the oil over here, no animal, no bug, no fungus, no more gonna come over here. It's not a food.
I'm going to talk about what.
So this is going into the next thing. So what kind of pans do you recommend? Iron or nickel?
With all honesty, I love cooking in clay pans. Clay pans are available in the market, little expensive, hard to find. But whatever you can do with the clay, even you get the metal toxic. I'm not going to go to extreme. Yes, we have stainless steel pans also. But the food tastes good, food cooks good when you make it in a clay pot. Clay homes, hay houses are the best houses in the whole world. Even again,
DZ we call it, right?
Now, talking about olive oil, if I may allow me to say a few things. There are things called flavonoids that Brother talked about the fourth type of destruction or that does damage to us, one of the free radicals. And years ago I was involved in some type of research. Quran is about olive. Quran is about fig and honey. And those class of chemicals called flavonoids. There was some research done that the flavonoids in those commodities, olive, there are so many that they capture the free radicals, so they will not do the damage to the body. And one theory was that, for example, olive oil has quite a bit of flavonoids. Honey has quite a bit of flavonoids. I don't know if you have done any research on those or have you?
Honey is good for you, but again, remember one thing. Any kind of sugar, no matter what sugar we're talking about here, honey, sucrose, glucose, lactose, anything, you cannot have more than 16 gram. Anything more than 60 gram leading you towards going it's a bank. You're depositing your disease for the 40-year term plan. So you're investing for 40 years. By the time you're going to hit 40, and for some people maybe 35, for some people maybe 55, so 40. So you're depositing your disease in an account tiny bit into pieces. And those all pieces join together and solve the puzzle at the age of 40. So honey is good, but what honey? One come from the China? Do you believe anything eating from China? I'm sorry to say that. They put melamine in the baby milk formula. Melamine is a form of plastic. When you grind it, it gives the same consistency, same taste as milk does. And a lot of young infants end up having kidney damage due to melamine milk. So why China gonna make honey? And you always use the honey the area you live in, because the wild animals, wild plants, all those bacterium, whatever you need, are in your local area you're exposed to, right? So the honeybees goes to the wildflowers and flowers and get those pollens and make honey from some particle which can help you with those bacteriums which you are exposed to in that area. So there is no reason getting honey from New York State while you're living in Maryland.
Another thing is,
So are local grown vegetables and fruits are good for you also?
Always. That's what we do all the time. We buy all the time, locally grown vegetables and seasonal. We buy seasonal though, not out of season.
But everything is controlled by the environment, the air condition, the heating. So what difference does it make?
It does.
If we are controlling the environment and everything
Yeah.
else.
So this is a very hard path to choose. I don't eat it in the restaurant. We don't go to the parties much. 99% time we eat home, and we buy from the Amish community. We have a group of organic farmers, and in our community we have 500 families. We buy raw grass-fed milk. We buy the meat from the grass-fed animals. We get the vegetables from the local farmers, and they guarantee us that it is organics and certified. Some are non-certified because it's an expensive process, but we know that it does not have herbicide, pesticide. And we eat lentils. So those things really helps us. But we eat little. We don't eat much. I give you an example. What two people can eat 2 days, we eat in whole week.
That is the saying of Muhammad. He says, "La tajal aqtanakum maqabir al-haywanat." Don't make your bellies the cemetery of the animals. He says you have to eat vegetables, because if your teeth were sharp, that means you have to eat meat. But this is what is true.
You were giving some examples of the kind of preservatives they are adding to our food. For example, they add this fire retardant to our butter. That's what I
Yes.
think. Could you please give us some examples?
Now, I'm gonna there are hundreds of examples. I'm gonna give a few examples. Salt and sugar and trans fats. Those three things are perfect preservatives. Anything you pick in the store, what you see, salt and sugar. Salt contains 250 milligram in one piece of bread, right? One serving, one piece of bread. That is too much for the body. That's too much. We need sodium all the time because sodium does very vital role. It helps our heart, it helps our kidney, it maintains the fluid balance. But the amount of sodium we need, if we eat the right amount of vegetables, we get that sodium from those vegetables because vegetables have naturally salt. The amount of sugar we need, we can easily get it from our little bit serving of fruits and milk. And vegetables also have starch in it, so we get glucose from there. Now those preservatives, what it does, it gives you shelf life. And there are like bromide. I used to eat those pita breads. You know what is happening to pita bread now? It doesn't go bad.
Oh,
How long it could stay?
No,
It's a miracle.
It is not a miracle. It is called bromide in it and some preservatives. I don't know the name, but there's so many names. But some preservatives which are non-carcinogen. Now here is the deal. Buy the grapes. Leave them on this table for 10 days. It would not go bad. So remember one thing, if in nature is not eating it, why should I be eating it? Because in this space we have maybe trillions of germs right now. Right? So those trillions of germs gonna leave this food, piece of pie alone. Why? They are not eating it. Why? So there is some chemical process done on those grapes. So we don't eat grapes at all. Although it's very healthy, but we don't. We refuse to eat it because we don't know how they're treating it. They don't tell us how they're treating them. So we don't eat grapes at all. We don't eat. The bottom line is, if it is not made by God, not created by God, please don't eat it. If it is in a very nice wrap, fancy pack, why we eat it? Why? It is contaminated, it's polluted.
I just say on my part, now we're talking about pesticide. The more expensive the food is, the more loaded with pesticide. Speaking of grapes, the way I wash it, put some detergent in a bowl full of water and rub the grapes all the way until all comes out from the branch. Then we wash it. This is, you have to eat sometimes, you have to eat. Strawberries, very, very careful with it.
Toxic. Cancer. This is
They
like eating cancer. Take my words.
Dip it in the pesticide. They don't spray the pesticide to it, they dip it in the pesticide. Blueberries, tons of pesticide. Also, you talked about kale, because this is the area that I work with. We call it green stuff. Kale, you have to be careful. It's so good for you, but you have to wash it very, very good.
Buy organic only. It will be like maybe $1 expensive, but it's worth it. Yes, sir.
Well, it seems like one thing about it's a small little community, but this community does have, since it's far out, it has a lot of resources in land. So a lot of people, there's more, none of us live like in the city. Seems like we should be producing more of our own food. I mean, it's good to go to like a farmer's market, or you get it from the Amish, or this or that, but that seems like something that we should be doing.
That's my next plan. It's called sustainable farming. And there is a group of people, you can join those groups and they help each other. You can hook up with the Amish people, they can help you in many, many ways. And just grow something in the backyard, like green peppers, bell peppers, and kale, arugula, and dandelions, and turnips, potatoes, onions, garlic, ginger, and cucumbers. You can do it in the backyard. Yes.
So, if you wanted to plant a garden, a lot of the seeds would be genetically modified. Where do you go to find?
Not every seed is genetically modified. There's only right now there are only 11, I think. 10 or 11 are genetified. So the one which are genetically modified, they are like, I would say, grains, like wheat, corn, beetroots, soya, and hemp seed. There are few more I cannot recall on top of my head, but you're not, what's called, squash, zucchini, I guess.
I dealt more with soybeans, which comes especially all imported from Brazil, heavily GM.
So why do they have?
But go to organic farmers and they will give you the seeds for free sometime.
Why do they have organic seeds and non-organic seeds?
But the people who are growing organically, you will see the difference. When you grow, you will see the bugs will be eating it.
No, I mean in the package, when they're selling seeds, some packages will say organic on it. Right.
Yeah. So just buy the organic one only.
Oh, you mean that came from organic plants?
At least they are honest about it. So.
Adi, talk.
Yes. You said you were an engineer before you became a doctor.
Oh, I'm not a doctor yet, but I have to finish my PhD within a program. So, but I do research and I do nutritional health.
I'm saying, like, how did you manage to, like, that's like a lot of time spent, like, even like because you completed school and you went back to school. Like for some people, like that's a lot of work, especially because like when you get out of school, you're just trying to pay your loans and everything. Like, how did you manage?
I decided, they always say that choose your battle and choose it wisely. So I said, well, here's the deal. I can make money, I could be very rich, but I will be very sick man who never know how my body function and work. So I said, okay, what is the right thing to do? What makes me happy? Were you going to do a job which does not make you happy at all? So,
let me add to this also, because I did a lot of schooling too. Unfortunately, a lot of people here out did a lot of schooling. At some point, you love to learn more, and you find your interest, and you want to pursue it, and you manage it somehow.
I guess he's asking how did you manage it financially?
Financially?
Yes.
Financially, it's very easy. I used to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and I would not go to bed till 11 at night. So what I did, I have friends, they have a motel over there. So I said, listen, I need to manage my finances. They said, okay, we help you. So I used to go 7 o'clock college, 3 o'clock I'm done, 3:30 start working till 11 o'clock. And that was a front desk job. All I have to do is guests come in, I just make a key for them, the electronic key, give them, get the money. 30 room motel, 30 people came in, I'm free rest of the time, just watching them, watching the phone calls and front, that's it. And in the meantime, when I have free time, I used to study, and he was paying me very good. So that's
If you allow me, because we have people, young people, we're going to encourage them for the college. Okay, those of you, I may have talked to Mustafa already. The 4 years of college, you go to college for 4 years. If you are a good student, if you make your A students, they pay your tuition. So it's on your benefit. It's your benefit to make sure you get A all the time. At some point, they say, okay, you really depleted our grants. From now on, we give you loans, right? And still it's good, maybe you have a couple of years to do it, but you can work on the side. Once you get to the graduate school, and usually you get, and there are a few options. One is, for example, teaching assistantship, or actually research assistantship, and the school pays for, am I correct? Correct. Pays for your college. So when you go to graduate school, it's easier than undergraduate. So there are two options. Undergraduate, you have to really make sure you press hard to get A's and you get the grants. Grants are the money that the school gives you, you don't have to return it. And then if you're a good student, they always give you financial aid, low interest rate. Once you go to college, to graduate school, then most of the schools provide you with some sort of money that you don't have to pay back. And on the side, for example, I know there are a lot of people who went to graduate school. On the side, you can also work Saturdays or Sundays. From this brother, for example, he went to, I was working graveyard shift. On Saturday and Sundays, I work in the morning. But it was good. I also have to do once an hour, I have to go patrol a building, come inside, I had my books there, I would study. So you have this chance also inside,
It's a question on behalf of these kids. For example, if some of them or all of them hopefully get inspired by what you just said and they want to get into this field. I heard that NIH has internship programs, and I have seen some kids also, following or shadowing some researchers. So would you recommend some of these kids?
I will definitely choose. And there is one more thing. Bethesda, if you go Walter Reed Medical Center, and the backside of, next of Walter Reed Medical Center is called Uniform Services Military University. You heard about it?
I have.
University of Health Sciences, Uniform Services, right? If you join that one, you can become a doctor, you can become a dentist, I think physical therapist also, if I'm not wrong, or physician assistant, and a nurse. Whichever avenue you want to choose. They pay you, if they select you,